Golf, no longer a game only for the idle rich. Today, pure relaxation for millions. A way of life for the loner, filled with moments of joy, moments of frustration. For others, exercise, friendship. For some, even a religion. Golf has its philosophers, communication with nature, or a problem of cool concentration. After all, amateur or pro, it's only a question of sinking a ball in a somewhat larger hole. Now, some of the excitement generated by a few of the great golfers of our time playing the Volvo Open, continental Europe's biggest golf tournament. 200,000 Swedish krona in prizes, with 40,000 krona for the top money. A 72-hole event played September 30th to October 4th, 1970, over 2 courses. The Delscher Golf Club in Gothenburg on Sweden's west coast, and the Drottningholm Golf Club outside Stockholm on the east coast. Leading German pro Tony Kugelmuller starts the Volvo, the 540-yard par 5 second hole. He wedges his third shot, 12 feet from the hole. Fog over Delscher, it's raining, and Volvo draws a record, the coldest September 31st in 100 years. Kugelmuller birdies and takes an early lead in the tournament with a 69 2-under par. Danish World Cup player Henning Christensen gambled on reaching the second with 2 shots, ended up among the birches. Delscher is a relatively short course, 6,400 yards, par 71, but nearly every fairway is tree-lined. Several doglegs with tight driving areas emphasize accuracy more than distance. Roughs can be a problem, but Christensen makes it. Same hole, Irish Ryder Cup player Christy O'Connor. From 100 yards, he knocks his wedge 6 feet from the flag. Wristy Christie, one of the Volvo Open seniors, 46 but improving every year. Tries for his birdie, misreads the wet, slow green. O'Connor ends the day with a 1-under par 70. Like Lee Elder from the U.S., who hates cold weather, but has learned to live with it. At times, a left-handed club, or a motor saw, would be useful. Powerful Spaniard Valentin Barrios stymied at the second. Barrios can hit a golf ball almost out of sight, but trees and slow greens were the big problems at Delscher. Not so for Ohioan Jack Nicklaus, here at the 6th green. From the word go, this 30-year-old wonder killed almost all the excitement in the Volvo Open. His great distance and magician's touch, with approaches and on the greens, produced 5 birdies on the first 9 holes. He made the turn in a record-breaking 30 shots. Swedish fans braved the weather to see this star. Over 2,000 showed up the first day. Away from the limelight, quiet, unobtrusive Frenchman, Jean Garaialde, methodically dissects the Delscher course. He made 4 birdies on the front 9, turned 1 shot behind Nicklaus, and plays on with the precision of a fine watch. Another favorite, Peter Townsend, with a smooth swing, one of Britain's most promising young pros, despite a frustrating year on the American tour, which provided more experience than money. He saves par with a bold putt at the 10th, finishes the day with a 1-under par 70. His playing partner, Swedish pro Tony Lidholm. The fog thickens, the tension mounts. Nicklaus hits a delicate 7-iron on the 160-yard 17th. Way too short. He chips from 90 feet. Too long. The mighty Nicklaus is running into trouble after the turn. Power, but he cannot birdie any of the par 5 holes. His putting is way off on the slow greens. Nothing unusual. Nicklaus feels more at home on fast greens. He's dropped one shot to par and has this 7-footer to stay 4 under. Good putt, but he 3-putted the last green for a total of 68 shots, 3 under par. And first day lead goes to Frenchman Jean Garaialde. His precision golf beat the course record with a 4 under par 67. 1 stroke behind Nicklaus and Belgian Donald Swelens, followed by New Zealander Bob Charles and German Tony Kugelmuller. 11 players end up within 3 shots. Some of the other Volvo Open personalities. Kel Nagle, Australia, at 50, the oldest competitor and winner of the centenary British Open. World Southpaw #1, Bob Charles, the New Zealander, scored 69 on the first day thanks to solid putting. Leading amateur after the first round, Gunnar Merle from Sweden. After the Volvo, he left for Arizona on a golf scholarship. A long way from home, Egypt's leading pro, Abdul Alim, and 5-time Bolivian amateur champion, Jorge Corso. Former U.S. amateur champion, Canadian Gary Cowan. Promising Swedish amateur, Ulla Dahlgren from Sweden's winning European junior team. Best resident pro in Scandinavia, Delshire assistant Eric Dawson from Scotland, who turned to tournament golf after a successful Volvo. Peter Thompson, Australia, 5 times British Open champion with a first day 71. From Spain, Valentin Barrios on the left, then World Cup player Ramon Sota and Thomas Lopez. Second day play, Belgian Donald Swelens, 1 stroke behind the lead on the difficult 5th hole. 220 yards, par 3 to a terrace green. Swelens' long iron hits the green on the lower plateau, 50 feet from the hole. Peter Thompson, a 4-wood, a perfect shot, 9 feet from the hole. Swelens never left the fairway. He putts out for his par, ends the day with a par 71 and 3rd place. Thompson's birdie try. The weather has improved, no rain, but a cold wind. The ball slips by the hole, but Thompson ends up with a 1 under par 70. The same for Kel Nagle. Hits a wedge for his second on the 360-yard 7th, 12 feet from the hole. Nagle smiles, but this popular personality always does. He misses the birdie putt. Nagle's 69 for the day ties with 3 other players for the lowest score. Same hole and Bob Charles, only 2 strokes behind leader Garaialde. Charles hits his approach too short, to the front apron, where he chips without changing his poker face. Short again. Normally, his short game ranks among the best in the world, especially his putting. And he sinks it from 7 feet to save par. One of the world's most versatile sportsmen, Sven Tumba from Sweden. Former ice hockey player, Sweden's best ever. Former soccer player on the national team. Now Sweden's leading golf enthusiast, Scandinavian champion, and promoter of the Volvo Open. Personally, very happy to have salvaged his par on the 5th hole. Back to the 7th, Lee Elder lifting his wedge, 9 feet from the flag. A good birdie try. Lots of putts for birdies today. The players learn the yardages and way to approach Delshire. But the greens are hard to read, very slow to putt on. Another victim of the Delshire birches, amateur Gunnar Merle. Everything right the first day, doing everything wrong on the second. Trying to squeeze the ball between the trees to the right. No comment. Garaialde reaches the 7th. Not the precision and ease of yesterday, but he keeps his lead. His wedge stops short, 24 feet from the hole. Garaialde, a picture of concentration and precision. Like Charles, he hides his emotions well. But he is nervous, knows he's everybody's target. First putt short, but he holds out for par, turning in one of the day's 4 low rounds of 69 and maintains his lead. Christy O'Connor, also a 69. After a hook second shot at the long 9th, he lifts a wedge way over the trees. Saves his par. Nicklaus, still the favorite, but having trouble. After indifferent putting, he's 1 over par for the round on the 5th. Hooks his tee shot. Down the gully in front of the green, he opens the blade on his wedge. Cuts the ball up in the air 12 feet from the hole. He misses the putt to lose another shot to par. Nicklaus is wavering, and thousands of spectators know it. Amateur Ulla Dahlgren having even more trouble. But Nicklaus is not giving up. The sun finally cuts through the clouds. Nicklaus unleashes his mighty power with a spoon on the 550-yard 9th. The ball stops on the green, 30 feet from the hole. A tremendous blow. The feat of Claes Jernke, Sweden's leading amateur in the 60s, often a continental team player against Britain. Jernke was paired with Nicklaus before a record crowd. Not unexpectedly, Jernke moved to first place among the amateurs.
Where are you at before you hit?
The second day is nearly over. Nicklaus steers a 3-iron from the elevated 14th tee down the narrow fairway. At the 14th, Jernke hits a short iron into the late afternoon sun for his second. Nicklaus, using a wedge, hits the ball too fat, sees it land far short of the flag. Claes Jernke, from 18 feet, hits the ball firmly. And a birdie at last. There were few this second day. Nicklaus in slow motion on the short 17th. 160 yards, par 3. His 7-iron, another chance for a birdie from 9 feet. Nicklaus needs it. He's level par for the round. 3 shots behind Garaialde. But no luck. The final hole, 540 yards, par 5. Straight and slightly uphill. Nicklaus birdied all the other par 5s and hits another power spoon to the edge of the green. Chips elegantly to 3 feet and holds out for a birdie. After 36 holes at the Delshire Golf Club, in the lead, Jean Garaialde, 6 under par, 2 strokes ahead of Nicklaus, 3 ahead of Nagel, O'Connor, Swalens, and Soda. 10 players within 5 shots. The play at Delshire was impressive, except for some mediocre putting. The crowds were delighted. In the end, even the weather smiled. Volvo's next host, the Drottningholm Golf Club, 300 miles across Sweden on the east coast outside Stockholm. And back to a normal October, rainy, windy, and cold. Time for hot toddies and open fire, a good book, not golf. But it was time for the Volvo Pro-Am, a break and a pleasant round with 3 amateurs and 1 pro. The round was not part of the tournament play. World champion and hard-hitting boxer Ingemar Johansson concentrating on his tee shot at the 165-yard third. Not really succeeding. The main attractions were Sweden's Prince Bertil, Golf King Nicklaus, and now back to the real play, the 3rd tournament round. 7th hole, 180 yards. Ramon Soda, Spain, only 3 shots behind the leader from France. Soda's tee shot stops immediately in its own pitch mark. The green, soft like a sponge from the rain and slow to putt on. With a strong wind and near freezing temperatures, the hands become stiff, lose their touch. Soda doesn't like the cold weather. He slumps away from the lead. Brian Huggett from Wales with a face that shows his spirit. He drives on the back-breaking 8th. Paired with Nicklaus, who continues to hit drives 275, 300 yards long. Huggett hits his 2nd on the 8th. Nicklaus aimed at the green but sliced his wood shot out in the rough. He recovers with a sand wedge a bit too short. Tries once more for a birdie, but fails again to make his first at Drottningholm. It's like a spell over him. It's worse for Jean Garaialde. He dropped shots to par on the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and drove into a fairway bunker on the 8th. Now he's hit his 4th shot to the edge of the green. Garaialde is on his way to losing the lead in the Volvo for the first time. A fine putt, but another shot dropped to par. The 9th hole, a difficult par 3, 210 yards uphill to a plateau green with a large water hazard in front. Garaialde hooks his tee shot. O'Connor, Nagel, and Nicklaus jump ahead. Thousands of spectators are no longer thinking about their wet, cold feet. Garaialde, a difficult pitch over the bunker. The grass is long and slippery. It's difficult to check the ball. Too hard. He has a 9-foot putt to save par. He feels the Volvo is slipping through his fingers. A fine putt. This was Garaialde's most important shot so far. It encouraged him, and he produced 3 birdies on the last 9 holes to regain the lead. 1 shot ahead of Nicklaus, 3 ahead of Nagel and O'Connor. Quite a day. Only 4 players broke the 71 par.
I try to keep each day on its own, and it really doesn't make any difference how I stand in the tournament. I just try to go out and do my best, and if I play well, that's fine. If I don't, well, I've played badly before.
Playing in different countries all the time, does this change your golf in any way?
Oh, I don't think it changes your golf too much. You have different grasses in different countries, different weather conditions, and of course the weather here has been reasonably cold for what I'm used to. I haven't played in weather like this in several years. Of course, every time we come to the British Open, it's similar, but of course we have different food and different customs in every country that we go into, and You just must learn to adjust.
Jean Garaialde, 35-year-old pro from La Bolie Club outside Paris, started his day with a hearty breakfast, drives past the Drottningholm Palace to the golf course. 1 hour before starting time. It's cold and windy, but it stopped raining. He changes and practices for half an hour. No rush, just as methodical and concentrated as during tournament play. He trims his upright swing so it feels right. Not too much practice, so he feels tired. 10 minutes, though, for putting, and then off by himself until he's called to the first tee. First among the leaders, Donald Swelens, 5 shots behind Garaialde. Brian Huggett, also 5 strokes behind. Kel Nagel, 3 shots behind. The chase after Garaialde is on. The final stakes are in sight. Nagel's second shot doesn't reach the green on this long par 4, 445 yards. An expert chip, and he nearly holds out for a birdie. Nagel on the second hole after a well-placed tee shot. A short iron, 8 feet from the flag. Huggett approaches even closer, and the ball bites immediately on the soft green. Swelens going for a birdie from 27 feet. His touch on the greens has been pure magic right from the start. He gets his par. Nagel for his birdie, but the ball slips by. Huggett from 6 feet. Huggett, Swelens, and Canadian amateur Gary Cowan were the only players to break 70 for the day, all with a 2-under par 69. The leading threesome. Garaialde is first to tee off at the 180-yard 7th. He just reaches the front edge of the green. Garaialde is now ahead of Nicklaus by 2 strokes after the Frenchman holed a mammoth putt of 60 feet at the 4th. Nicklaus with a 6-iron. It's a beauty 4 feet from the hole with the ball remaining in its own pitch mark. A great golf shot. And the duel between Garaialde and Nicklaus begins in earnest. Can the short-hitting Frenchman maintain his lead over the powerful Nicklaus on the 6,800 yards of this long Drottningholm course? Garaialde, a long putt over a hump, but he strokes it badly, 9 feet short. He tries again. A miss. A 3-putt, and Nicklaus has a chance to level the score with 1 shot. He bends over his 4-footer, but cannot make a putt. Garaialde holds on to his 1-stroke lead, but he's clearly shaken. Garaialde in front of a fairway bunker on the long 8th. A good 3-wood for his second. Way over the bunkers that Garaialde didn't even reach, Nicklaus goes for the green from a light rough with a 3-wood. He almost made it. He chips to 5 feet. Another chance for a birdie. Garaialde putts for his 4 and nearly holds out. Nicklaus, never once showing his frustration on the greens, tries again. Impossible. Nicklaus is putting like a beginner. The largest crowd ever on a Swedish golf course follows the duel at the long 9th, 210 yards, par 3. Garaialde hits the lower part of the green and has a long putt to the upper plateau. But Nicklaus cut his tee shot to the right and has a difficult recovery shot over the sharp edge. From where he is standing, he can't see much of the hole. Not hard enough, way short. Garaialde from 3-putt territory. The hole is 50 feet uphill. He strokes the ball well, gets his par. O'Connor removes the flag from the apron and chips for a birdie. Nicklaus, 24 feet short of the hole, 1 shot behind Garaialde. Sooner or later, he must hole a putt. But this ball stays away and he loses another shot. Meanwhile, Kjell Nagel holds a birdie putt at the 10th and moves into 2nd place. The 11th, par 4, a long 420 yards uphill with a dogleg left. Garaialde is driven short of the corner but draws his 4-iron second shot around the trees. 15 feet, a perfect golf shot, and after his birdie on the 10th, he moves 3 shots ahead of Nicklaus and Nagel. Nicklaus with an 8-iron after a booming drive 50 yards past Garaialde. He misjudges it completely and barely makes the green. The sun is setting, but the crowd stay on. Nicklaus with a long putt on the big 11th green, 60 feet, and short again, dangerously short. Garaialde putting for his birdie. A solid putt, and the ball rounds the hole. O'Connor's distance is even shorter, and he gets his birdie. And back to Nicklaus again. 3 strokes behind and not improving. Concentrates with his blade putter, opens his stance, and misses. 4 shots behind. Looks like the Volvo Open clearly belongs to Jean Garaialde. But Nicklaus continues to play Drottningholm with a brand of majestic golf never seen before in Sweden. With 3 birdies, he shrinks the lead to 1 shot to the last green. Garaialde is left with a long putt, 75 feet uphill and breaking left. An excellent putt, under pressure, to 4 feet from the hole. Nicklaus senses the silent crowd's tension and excitement while preparing to putt from 12 feet. Both players have hit exactly the same number of shots in the Volvo. once again, Nicklaus rims the cup, and Jean Garaialde from France is 4 feet from 40,000 Swedish krona, nearly $8,000, and the most important victory of his career. For the first time, his stone-like face cracks. A happy smile, Jean Garaialde wins the Volvo Open. 7 under par for the tournament. 3 ahead of Kel Nagel, 4 ahead of Brian Huggett and Donald Swalings. And above all, Garaialde beats Jack Nicklaus by 1 stroke. His showdown victory over the mighty Nicklaus, providing a real boost for European golf.
277 slag. Han får även Volvos hederspris. Volvo Open Trophy.
I want to thank the Volvo for sponsoring this big tournament. I think we have a wonderful time in Gothenburg and in Stockholm, and I think I am very happy to win this great tournament. I want to thank also my partner from today, Christy O'Connor and Jack Nicklaus, who was so very kind with me. Thank you very much, all of you, and I hope to come again next year.
Till att den här tävlingen har blivit en sån succé.